Brosplay! Welcome back. Last time on
That little musical bell that it showed there, that little... Yeah, exactly. It might as well have been a horn.
Yeah, so when you respawn, you only have 3 health, which is the amount of damage done by the spikes.
Oh, that's why you can only take 2 shots from it.
Yes. You see that shit? I just anime killed that guy by like swinging through him and ending up on the other side alive.
Yeah, there's been a lot of anime style kills where it just feels like you just blast somebody into another dimension.
I guess that's what happens when you use a fucking sword.
Hit that cauldron.
The cauldron?
Yeah, there was a cauldron up there. I was wondering if you might get health out of it. But you already have full health. How did that happen?
I found it in a lantern.
Oh, okay.
That's a Castlevania. But this thing goes goes a little Metroid later on, which reminded me of that. I really want to play some Metroid games in this channel.
Yeah, I would appreciate playing some as well. We have Metroid Prime, which I think would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, not as much as the 2D ones though. 2Ds are much better.
Oh, is it a 3D?
Metroid Prime, yeah.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah. It's really a really good example of adapting it to a third dimension, but in comparison, and a big part of it is like the GameCube controller doesn't have a right thumbstick, really. Ooh.
Yeah, the GameCube controller was great for certain games and just absolutely terrible for others.
Well, the C-stick could have been used. They didn't have to not use it. So there's a lock-on system in that game, which is really hard. It just doesn't feel like you're really actually fighting things because you're just locking onto them and then going nuts.
Yeah, I find the lock-on system can really suck the fun out of something. It makes it feel like you don't have control.
Yeah.
Or rather that your control isn't important.
And like, just check out Red Dead 2 online. Like the auto aim. This guy's name is Ruxton.
Is he talking to his staff?
Yes. Yeah.
Jesus.
So they do a fun little thing here. I appreciate the attitude of this game. Classic.
Yeah, that is pretty classic.
They did that. Didn't they do it at Shovel Knight? The Tinkerer. Fuck.
You almost got above that.
I don't think I can actually. I'm supposed to go underneath it.
Yeah, the Tinkerer.
Oh wait.
That was wicked though.
He's making like the oof noise of the big blocks in Mario 64.
Almost a really low or a high pitched version.
Yeah.
Like the thwimps.
The thwimps.
Yeah, yes. You know what thwimps are, right?
Yeah, the small thwomps.
Little tiny thwomps. Apparently, they're actually almost as hard, if not harder, to avoid. Because you know how the thwomps just sit there and come straight down? Mm-hmm. The thwimps go from, like, they'll be on the right-hand side of your screen, and they'll jump over at you. Like, they move side to side. Whereas the thwomps don't. They just go up and down.
I swear I've fought thwimps, haven't I?
Probably in the newer Mario games.
Huh. This guy's a little bit easier, although I'm also more in the mood.
Than what, the first boss?
Yeah. Come on.
It's amazing to see the enemies, like how dumb the enemies really are. Like they don't know where you are, right? They just do what they do.
Interesting. I never even considered that. Yeah, they don't know where you are.
No, they don't actually know where you are.
Huh. Oh yeah. So sometimes these bosses, like, they're not all evil. Like these guys actually, I think this guy just agrees not to do bad shit anymore.
Introspection would be a good start.
Yeah. Carry on. We promise not to cause the world any harm. Some of the guys become your friends. It's pretty cool.
That was weird. That is so not how a boss fight normally ends.
No.
Thank you for teaching us the error of our ways, ninja.
Yeah. Oh, the green.
Yeah, they picked a great color scale for this.
So, I've been watching more of Killjoys, which is a pretty decent Canadian television show. and there's like this whole segment that's like in this place called the green, and they just color graded everything into green, and it's kind of hard to look at, and it actually looks like washed out like this does.
Yeah, this looks so washed out. This looks like they were painting, and when they went back to their watercolor palette, it had all bled together, so they decided to do everything in yellowish green.
Oh, dude, I had some pizza from a pizza joint, and I grabbed a garlic dip thinking it was, you know, a garlic dip, and it was fucking liquid. It was like garlic dressing. It was like oil.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, learn something new every day.
They call that a dip, eh?
It's technically you do dip into it.
Yeah, but like by that very same notion, you could also say that any liquid is a dip.
Wow. Any liquid is a dip if you're brave enough?
Well, I've absolutely put or dipped things in vinegar before. I'm not calling that a fucking dip. Just because I have dipped things in it. What?
So, sometimes, you know the line on The Other Guys when Will Ferrell's like, and at age 11, I audited my parents. And,
yeah.
And then Mark Wahlberg's like, what are you?
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel that way about you.
Really?
Just like, I don't know, just like, you just always have these like healthy alternatives. I'm like, what are you? Like, what family did you come from?
Where did you get these ideas?
Because like the rest of our family is unlike you, I would say.
Well, I don't know. Our dad has been eating fruit for breakfast for a bajillion years.
Yeah. He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. I like him.
I like him. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. I'm also a lot more intense than just most people. Because if I had absolute choice and had infinite food prepared and ready for me, I would basically never eat any sugar ever. But that's just not the reality of the world. It's not
corn syrup. We're just a corn syrup environment.
Yeah, corn syrup. Like anytime I see something like that, like either a corn syrup or a glucose fructose syrup or anything that just seems incredibly unnatural, it's a big turnoff for me. Maltodextrin bothers me because it's in everything.
Maltodextrin?
Yeah, maltodextrin's awful, man. Same with sucralose. Sucralose gives you such terrible bloating.
Fuck you.
This guy's pretty dangerous, man.
Yeah, I guess if you're into that stuff.
Yeah, all that healthy bullshit.
You gotta hit these guys in the little heart. I don't know what that's for.
Yeah, where are you? Oh man, this is a secret.
I guess so.
A long secret, holy.
I mean, like, yes. Lengthwise, yes.
I hope there's some, there we go.
Didn't take a long time, though. Yeah, you can't get through here, so I guess you have to come back.
There's gotta be a way to bust through that. Must be. That'd be hilarious if you could go right over top.
I wasted a Shuricant. Can't get that back.
Oh, jeez. We were both had that on the tip of our tongues. And I just figured, nah, I can't do it. I'm glad you did. Someone has to. You could
go
just
faster.
Jump. You could just
go
jump
faster. Like I thought that I was never gonna get through, and then I just very easily did.
The shurikens are wild.
I love it. I love throwing it under. I love being underneath and throwing the shuriken.
I feel like this game gives you choice, which I didn't feel in Shovel Knight. In Shovel Knight, I felt like you were essentially told, like, this is how you have to beat the game.
Yeah, well, it was trying to follow a meta, which I actually what I love about it. I'm a big fan of meta.
I found it so frustrating.
Yeah,
Shovel
well,
Knight.
You're also not a gamer.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's actually pretty fair. I'm definitely not a gamer the same way you are.
I'm a gamer dude.
As opposed to a gamer girl?
Well, I wouldn't say that they're exactly on opposite sides of it.
So you're a gamer dude? Or a gamer guy? Or a gamer man? Yeah, man. Gamer man. That's what you should go. That's what you should call the channel. Gamer man and the other gamer man. That's what we'll call it.
Gamer man and not so game.
We are the game guys.
Game guys. That's real. I like that.
Oh Oh
I
man.
feel like we missed an opportunity, changing the channel to a new channel. Probably should have called it Gamer Guys. Yeah, we still can.
We still can, but
No one's here
Yeah, no one's privy to this conversation
yet,
yet.
except for that fucking blue rhino that I just murdered.
These goddamn rhinos. Oh, you actually take them with you. That's what the hell was that? A monkey?
He was like,
Yeah, it's the exact noise he was making.
no, actually, the exact noise he was making was.
Yes. Yes, the single noise that they made for all of the enemies.
Yes, this is actually the path I was supposed to take. Like, I was supposed to grab all those elevators,
But yeah, if you can cut past it.
but I circumvented the.
I circumvented your elevators, fool.
Circumvent the opposite. Where you going? You checking out these Medusa heads? Isn't that cool?
Whoa. They look like dogs. They look like demon dogs.
Yeah, probably. The Demodogs.
The demon dogs?
Demon dog.
Got that damn demon dogs. Yeah. I listened to somebody yesterday speaking in what they were calling pigeon English. It's like English that people speak in like colonies that were colonized by the English people. So it's a half English, half their language. And he's from Nigeria, so I guess that would be his original language. And it was really weird listening to because it sounded like he was just making shit up, but he very clearly knew what what the sentence meant that he told you. Yeah, it's sort of like someone with a thick Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
Because you know how totally indistinguishable that can sometimes be.
Well, Australians as well.
Australians too.
It's not just the accent; they have a dialect of their own.
Yeah, the dialect, that's also part of the reason it's sometimes impossible to tell what a British person is saying to you.
My
Like, I've never put petrol in my vehicle, whatever that is. I've never, you know.
You there? Fill it up with petroleum distillate. I named my Burnt Horizon video Spider Goose versus the Ruse Loose because one of the characters in their bio says, you gotta have a couple of ruse loose in the top paddock to be in this job.
Couple ruse loose.
Yeah.
I like how perfect that is. Like from screws loose to ruse loose. It's like essentially the same expression. Nice. I was kind of wondering when I saw the double waterfall.
Double waterfall all the way across the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the way the water is
folds.
folding.
Yeah, it folds over.
Yeah.
That's some Speedy Egbert water right there.
Oh, Speedy Egbert. In case you're wondering, I cannot get to that spot on the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I need the squirrel suit.
It's so quiet. What happened to the music?
It's for self-reflection. Introspection would be great. Remember?
This is time for introspection and self-reflection. Time to go down into the grotto.
Howling Grotto! So we're about to surpass where I've been, so things might slow down. I love this music. The part it's like.
Is it the same song?
No. It's the song that you and I heard earlier because we were testing on this level.
Ah, okay.
So now they're doing this whole like meta joke about you like understanding that you're stuck in a hole, and he's like, wow, wouldn't it be crazy if I like knew somebody who knew how to do that? Wingsuit attack. Nice. So the squirrel people gave me a wingsuit. Wow. And now I can float.
And what's your wingsuit attack? Okay. Well.
That was so.
And you can't do your dash, right? It's only underwater.
Yeah. Because the dash is the attack button.
Okay.
So check this out. I can do aerial acrobatics.
I just feel like your guy would be brain damaged after that violent spin.
I feel like a guy comes at you like this. You just don't know what to do about it. You're like, holy shit!
It's actually great. You feel like you actually add to like how long you have to think about what you're gonna do when you land.
Even this too, like, imagine did you just like
Oh man.
That's really cool though. I can actually Wow, I can actually attack down now, but it's a little more complicated than I'd like it to be.
Yeah, you have to be in midair to do it.
Can't be in there either. It's more fun to do the spin
To push it,
than
yeah.
it is to go up.
That's funny.
Yep, this is about as far as I've been. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up.
Butt 2 has surpassed butt.
Butt up.
Yeah, butt up or shut up, man.
That's
Pretty
the line.
sure.
Yeah,
pretty sure that's how it goes. That was some wild aerobatics.
Look at the little gust of air underneath me.
Is that just holding you up?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of steam.
Wow. I love this game.
That is pretty wild.
What are you gonna do about it? I really want to do it on this guy's head.
I feel bad for these ones, the green turtles.
They don't attack, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was just to go back and get more, or is that the way to go?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is there falling damage?
No, you're a ninja. John,
It's just assumed.
JonTron just pounded a game for having falling damage in a 2D platformer. It's called Bubsy. It's an extraordinary series of terrible events called games. There's a 2-dimensional Bubsy that was awful. Probably several, actually. There's a 3-dimensional Bubsy, also really bad.
And what is it?
It's they were just trying to capitalize on like the mascot platformer, like Spyro and Mario.
And so, but that character Bubsy,
He's a bobcat.
but he's not from anything else. They made him
No,
up, right?
No,
okay.
they made him up. You'd have to try pretty hard to make him that bad.
What was the
They did.
what was the last mascot they had in hockey? I forget. I don't remember. I don't think he was a Grouch. But he was. Do you remember him? He was like super hairy. Oh fuck. I forget what team he was on. But he's really unsettling.
Is it the California Raisins?
No. Which would have been an awesome, awesome team mascot. He's got a saxophone and everything.
You remember the song that they sang?
No.
The pun?
No.
Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, we were young. That was like it was like 90s.
That's wow. The California Raisin. I remember those commercials.
Shit.
Ah.
I haven't seen Corbo in a while. Yeah, totally called that one. Corbo just won another bet. Sometimes he says stuff like, "You just got me out of a very boring dinner."
I think that's cool to have. I can't tell what he just did there. It looked like he ate that guy.
Yep. He ate the
Oh,
coin.
he's eating the coin. Yeah, okay.
What is that down pad? Fucking jeez.
What I find
Relax.
what I find really awesome about these guys is that they've got one ear covered, like it looks like they're listening to music. They've got one hand up to their ear.
They're listening to like.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing, man. They remind me of Geodude.
They kind of are Geodude.
Yeah, except for they don't have amazing levitation powers.
He does. They don't really play on that, do they?
Once you get to
Viridian
right
City.
after the one that came right after Platinum, or not Platinum, the one that came right after Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire. I think it was maybe Black and White. When you got to that, or I think even in Fire Red and Leaf Green, Pokemon had special abilities.
Oh.
And so any Pokemon that was like that, like I think even Magnetite, Voltorb got it as well, they got a buff called Levitation, which meant they were not affected by ground moves. Which is super overpowered for a Megaton because he's Steel Electric, both of which are weak to ground. But he can't be hit by ground-based attacks.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so it's just super nasty.
Did you ever hear of the there was a
This is awesome.
what's going on in here? There was a strategy in Hearthstone where once you got this certain dragon on the field, it was just a win.
Yeah, didn't it basically infinitely replicate both itself and any other card?
It did something like that where it was just like but it wasn't like you win. It still had to play out all the turns. where you're just like sitting there watching yourself slowly lose with no way to defeat it.
Right, because it would just constantly spawn high-level characters.
I think it was actually low level because they thought that would be balanced, but I guess because it just brought so many of them out.
Yeah, it was right. I remember what it was. You could pull somebody, you could create a monster and activate their ability. So what happened was you would pull a monster and activate its ability, but if you pulled the same monster that allowed you to pull the first one, then you could pull another and another and another. So like, yeah, it's just very poorly designed. That's one thing I don't like about games like that, is that there is something really weird and random about it, that you'll face somebody and you go, oh, that guy had better cards than I did. So it's not like I'm unskilled, I just...
Yeah, I've always had a problem with card games. Because building a deck is definitely a skill. I'm not gonna disagree with that, but just you can both build really good decks and just come out on top from getting a really good hand.
Yeah. What would actually be kind of interesting is a game where you play the same 40 cards that come out in the same order.
Yeah.
Every time. So then that way it would be more of a skills game of who is the most talented at just putting together those pieces. It would be like chess, right? Because in chess, every game starts the same and there's only certain moves you can start with. But once you've done your first 3 or 4 moves, all of a sudden the landscape's changed, right?
That would be pretty cool. I'm a big fan of both sides using very similar things.
Yeah, I feel like the inputs for both sides should be the same.
But on the opposite side, that can make things very boring. I think Overwatch to me is very boring because both sides have the same characters.
Right.
And I think it would be a pretty fucking cool game if there were defenders and attackers.
It would be a good idea. I totally see like why they don't have them, because it seems like that's not what they're aiming for.
Yeah, to me it's like fighting yourself, and especially when like the meta can be solid sometimes and it's just like the same characters on both sides. You got like 2 rocket ladies in the air fighting each other and 2 shield guys on the ground blocking things and 2 rat guys or whatever they're called just like firing grenades on both sides. It's very confusing. And
yeah, I've actually personally even found Overwatch to be less interesting to me than Team Fortress.
Interesting.
Because in Team Fortress, it was like they were actually embracing the fact that both sides only had the same options available to them, right? This is what you get. You get a spy, a pyro, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And then it was also really cool that you could switch mid-round, which I know you can do in Overwatch. But I like that. I don't like games where you have to pick right at the beginning and then you're stuck for a 20-minute game playing the same character.
Yeah, that was my thing with League, is I always enjoyed a certain point in League where everybody had stuff, but you weren't exhausted, and then the game would end and you would start over again, and that was always rough for me.
Yeah, I really didn't appreciate that either. What I did appreciate about League was every game was fresh, so if you had a really shit game, you got to come back and sort of prove that you weren't terrible. Down to the left, secret.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, on the flip side, like when you had a really good game and all of that got reset.
Nope,
not a secret. That was definitely very frustrating. My problem was just always there was not equal skill levels. Like they were. Oh Jesus!
I like fluttered like a leaf.
Okay, we will come back next time and hopefully make it past the spiky traps.